About 1.5 years ago, I made a video titled My Top 10 Favorite Pokemon. Do not watch this video. Well, now that I've told you lot not to go watch it, you probably will. Just don't say I didn't warn you. Over the span of this last 1.5 years, my opinions on which Pokemon should be considered the best of the best have changed quite a bit. And I felt it important to update you all. Why am I sharing this non-vital information of my favorites with you all? Well, to try to convince you why these 10 deserve to be your favorites too. I don't want to hog the best ones for myself, you know? I want to share the love. I also wanted to see if I could pick up on any patterns or similarities within these 10 Pokemon. What makes the perfect Pokemon in my opinion? And I guess this video will help me determine the answer to this question. This video will be the start of a semi-trivial series that I like to call
The Best of the Best Puts the Rest to Rest.
Or the
BBRR.
For short. In this series, I get to talk about my top favorites of literally anything, really, because why not? Oh, sorry buddy, you're not on the list this time. Awkward. Anyway, listed from 10 to 1, let me share my top 10 favorite Pokemon with you all. 10th place goes to the one and only Generation 8 semi-hated fossil Pokemon Arctozolt. I know that a lot of people don't like this crew of Fossilmon, but I think they rock. Ting. Well, I guess they don't actually rock, because Arctozolt, along with Dracozolt, Dracovish, and Arctovish, well that's a mouthful, are the only Fossilmon to this date that are not rock type. But come on, just one look at this goof walk around in camp and how could you not love it? I feel so bad for the top half of this poor thing. It's so cold it's shaking. But this shaking is how it generates electricity, so maybe it's actually a good thing? I actually really love the Generation 8 fossil pocket monsters. I love that they all mix and match. I watched a Loxton and Noggin video about these four's possible inspirations. My pals and I actually talked about this the other day, and it's so fascinating how little we actually know about dinosaur skeletons. So many of them got mixed around or thrown together because expeditions for fossils were just in it for the money and or the fame, especially with the example of the messed up dinosaur statues found at the Crystal Palace Park. So it makes a lot of sense that these Pokemon are so mixed up and, well, incorrect. And Arctozolt is my favorite of the bunch by far. It literally just looks like a marshmallow monster. I love the mystery around this Pokemon and the references to real life's history. In 9th place, we have another Generation 8 Pokemon, but this one is much more loved, because everyone's gotta love an adorably round cotton ball of a Pokemon, right? That's right, 9th place goes to the esteemed, sometimes black sheep of the family, Wooloo. This Pokemon is literally so round and such a pacifist that it just rolls away when it has to face conflict or discomfort. Imagine if as humans just did that, there would be so many avoided arguments. Anyway, these Pokemon not only roll away, but they also roll off of stuff. Stuff like cliffs. Good gosh, that's a far drop. But don't worry, because Wooloo's wool is so fluffy and thick that it cushions this Pokemon from any injuries. Whew, that was a close one. But make sure if you shave your Wooloo, you wait at least 3 months for the poor thing's wool to grow back, or it won't be so lucky if you get what I mean. How about we move on to number 8, another Generation 8 Pokemon. I'm definitely starting to notice a bit of a theme here. Spot number 8 goes to Toxel, the rock and roll and attitude spittin' baby dinosaur lizard. Did you know that the designer of Toxel not only designed its split evolutions and Falinks, but also designed numerous Pokemon Go characters, including the official player character artwork, Professor Willow, and the team leaders. Incredible. There's literally so much to unpack and love with this Pokemon. It's the only baby Pokemon since Generation 5, and it's my favorite color. Purple. It's perfect. But let's talk more about that electric poison typing. According to Toxel's Pokemon Sword and Shield Dex entries, Toxel secretes poison through its skin. When not being secreted, this poison is stored in an internal poison sac. The chemical makeup of this poison is manipulated by Toxel to produce electricity that can cause a tingling sensation when touched by trainers or by foe. So this little dude has toxin skin, just like poison dart frogs, which this Mon's design may be based off of. I mean, obviously certain evidence points to this Pokemon being based on a human baby, but it also appears to be based on different frog and lizard species. Though these little bumps on its head point to a resemblance of the Ankylosaurus, a dinosaur from the Cretaceous period. Another similarity, and we're only 3 in, Dinosaurmon. While 7th place on the list is definitely not a Dinomon, it still has to do with world history. Hisuian Growlithe appears to be based on Japanese Shisa statues or Komanu statues. These statues are a mix between lions and dogs. They are found in pairs and tend to be used as guardians and their good luck. I love how Growlithe and Hisui embrace this by traveling in pairs, protecting their territory, which is also adorable. I bet they cuddle up together during the night to keep warm in the cold Hisui region. Or maybe there's no need for that, because these Growlithe's fur is so soft and insulated that the cold weather barely affects them. So now that leads me to an important question. Is the horn here covered in fur? Or is it a fur horn? We know that Growlithe rarely uses its horn because they're easily broken, so I guess it's covered in fur as an extra layer of breakage protection? I don't know. I guess only its designer, Megumi Mizutani, can answer that question. Speaking of Growlithe's designer, Mizutani also designed Mimikyu, an amazing Pokemon that actually got demoted off this list. Anyway, I admittedly haven't finished my Legends Arceus playthrough, so I've yet to encounter this Pokemon in the wild or its evolution, but you can bet that as soon as I do, it'll become a vital member of my team. We're 6 for 6 here with my next favorite also being a Generation 8 Pokemon. I guess I really love the design approaches Gamefreak made with this go around. 6th place goes to the superior worm Pokemon Applin. And while yes, it's a little gross to think about, the inspiration of an inchworm in an apple is so clever. According to Pokedex entries, it literally lives inside its chosen apple for its whole life. This is how it hides from predator Pokemon. That's so genius. You know what's also genius? Those split evolutions. It really feels like you get to build a team of your own liking when Pokemon have split evolutions. Now, yes, Applin is both the lightest and shortest dragon type Pokemon and has the lowest base speed stat of all dragon types, but that doesn't make it a bad dragon type, right? I have found that I love food or material item Pokemon designs. I think they're so clever and in my personal opinion feel more fun than a wrestling cat, for example. But there are plenty of great animal designs out there too, like Obstagoon, who is this close to making it on this list, whose design takes inspiration from Kiss icon Gene Simmons. But enough about design technicalities, it's time to move on to number 5 on this list, the halfway point. Now, these next 5 went through a lot of rearranging and hard thinking, so I am not exaggerating when I say that this is when it got hard. 5th place goes to the Wooloo herding corgi-based Yamper. Yamper is the epitome of royalty, being based on corgis similar to the ones that Queen Elizabeth II cares for. And with Galar being based on the United Kingdom and Queen Elizabeth being, you know, the Queen, that's just absolutely brilliant. Similar to what I mentioned in my past top 10 video, Yamper really reminds me of my own dogs, only helping out when trainers plan to offer it treats as a reward. They like to chase after anything fast-moving. It's literally all of my dogs combined into one. How can I not love this little guy? Fortunately, unlike my dogs, Yamper actually has a whole organ dedicated to generating electricity when it runs. Hey, my dogs pass bad enough gas as is, I really don't need them generating sparks too. I love how this Pokemon interacts with the other pocket monsters of the Pokemon universe. From being used by farmers in Galar to herd Wooloo, to providing a place to stay and feed for Joltik, Yamper just helps out all over the place. But only for treats, don't forget that part. 4th place on my list was voted Generation 8 Pokemon of the Year in 2020, so you know it's gotta be a good one. That's right, the 11th most popular Pokemon as of 2020, Dragapult, earns a new spot on my top 10 list. I can confidently say that Dragapult is my favorite dragon-type Pokemon by far. Its design is just amazing. There's so much behind this design, and there are quite a few good videos that go into more detail, but I'll try to give you the main shakedown of this spectacular design. One of the first things one can notice about Dragapult is its triangularly shaped head. I don't think triangularly is a word, but it is now. This points us fans in the direction that this Pokemon design most likely takes inspiration from the Northrop Grumman B2 Spirit, which are more commonly known as stealth bombers. I mean, come on, it's literally its head. These stealth bomber planes are usually shot off the ground or in aircraft carriers with aircraft catapults, similar to Dragapult's behavior of shooting Dreepy out of its head cannons. Its head shape also leads fans to guess that this Pokemon design takes inspiration or might be based on the Diplocalus, an extinct amphibian with a similar head and body shape that Dragapult has. The Diplocalus skeleton has never actually been completed. It's missing the end of its tail, just like Dragapult is with its literal phantom limb. Wow, these segues are literally writing themselves. Speaking of phantoms, it's time to get to the top 3, starting with my 3rd favorite Pokemon, Polteagiest. This trouble-causing possessed tea and teapot was designed by the one and only James Turner. Turner also designed the previously mentioned Obstagoon and its pre-evolutions, so I must really like his style of Pokemon designing. It's another Generation 8 Pokemon, I swear this was not planned, what the heck? One of my favorite things about Polteagiest is that it has 2 forms, the phony form and the antique form. I personally didn't even know these forms were a thing until watching somebody else's playthrough of Pokemon Sword, and I was like, Maybe I was just slow to the party and wasn't aware that these different forms were a thing, or maybe others still don't know. For those of you who maybe don't know, one of these forms has a sticker of authenticity on the bottom and the other doesn't. I know, that's barely a difference. But that's what I love about it. It's so small that I personally wasn't even aware of it. Even though it's such a small detail, it gives this Pokemon so much more character, like a whole backstory from just one sticker. Design tropes aside, Polteagiest literally lives in public places and hotels and restaurants to infect tea with its essence. That is so creepy. Luckily, I don't like tea. I won't get indigestion or stomach aches from drinking its phantom juice. One more fact before we move on to second place. Polteagiest's Japanese name, that I will not embarrass myself trying to pronounce, translates to pot death in English. I don't know, I just thought it was kind of funny. Oh my gosh, people, it's our first non-Gen 8 Pokemon of the video, character growth! All jokes aside though, this was definitely the hardest decision of this whole video. First and second place kept switching spots all throughout the making of this video. But my final decision is that second place goes to the one and only Eevee. Well, unknown to me until I was doing research for this video, but apparently Eevee has a gender difference? Maybe I'm just a fake fan for not knowing this until now, but as of Generation 8, all female Eevees were given a more rounded end of their tails. I wonder if this has anything to do with matching the more rounded end of female Pikachu tails? I can't believe I didn't know this already. Did you know that the creator of Eevee also designed Flareon, Jolteon, Vaporeon, and Rotom Fan? Heh, I guess I was not expecting that one. Another fun fact, there seems to be this heated debate on the internet if Eevee is a dog, a cat, or a fox. But honestly, it's all and none of the above. Eevee isn't based on a specific animal, it's an unknown creature, Fujiwara, encountered in the forest. How mysterious. I wonder if Fujiwara ever expected Eevee to have 8 evolutions. Now, you can't talk about Eevee without mentioning the evolutions. These 8 are one of the reasons that I love Eevee so much. I've said this in previous videos, but I love that in the anime particularly, even though Eevee has the potential to be any of these evolutions, even though its genetic code is all funky, it's still a cute and great Pokemon on its own. I feel like if I was in the world of Pokemon, I would definitely have an Eevee on my team, but I don't think I'd have any plans for evolving it. Now, my fellow internet users, the moment you've all been waiting for, the winner of place number 1. My favorite Pokemon, the best of the best, the one that takes the cake, puts the rest to rest, Rowlet. Rowlet was promoted from 3rd to 1st place within this year and a half, nostalgia helping bump it up a few spots. But nostalgia isn't the only reason this Pokemon deserves to be number 1. I mean, come on, it is such a good Pokemon that it was a starter twice. As it should be, of course. How could one not love the spherical leafy barn owl? A barn owl that evolves into the Robin Hood of Pokemon is literally the coolest thing ever! Ash's Rowlet in the Pokemon anime is literally the biggest mood. It's always just chilling and tired. And I love how, spoilers, it helped him become the Alola champion even though it wasn't evolved. Anime Rowlet is just so cool, and his voice actor is pretty cool too. In fact, Rowlet's American voice actor, Roger Collegi, voices a wide variety of human and Pokemon characters alike, including this character in XY's episode A League of His Own, Poliwhirl, Poliwrath, Politoed, Decidueye, and others that I most likely missed in my research. And perhaps the most interesting in my opinion, Ash's Rotom Dex from his time in Alola. Rowlet is so cool that the voice actor of Rotom Dex voiced its little coos. That is so cool. All in all, I'd be lying if I said nostalgia didn't have a lot to do with Rowlet getting 1st place. Rowlet was my very first Pokemon ever, and that seems like a pretty big deal. I find myself wanting to draw it all the time, and for Legends Arceus, you best bet I chose Rowlet again just to see if it held up after all this time, and it has. It's still as spherical and sleepy as always. I think it'll be the 1st place for a while longer, and I hope I convince some of you to start liking it more too. And hey, according to a totally sourceable poll I did on Instagram, you lot seem to think it's kinda cool. But kinda doesn't cut it. Doesn't it deserve to be everyone's favorite? You say yes right now, we're fucking the contract.
This one is good. This one is goodest. Now give me the check, please.
See, even mysterious voice dude agrees. So obviously, Rowlet must be the best. Now, I've been sitting here for a good 20 minutes rewriting this conclusion, trying to figure out similarities within these Pokemon and their designs that may cause me to like them. The only similarity I'm seeing is all this Generation 8-ness. Well, wait. After another look, I'm noticing that most of these designs are pretty simple, both visually and conceptually. Cotton ball sheep, apple and a worm, ghost tea, pretty simple and straightforward. So maybe that's what I like about Pokemon, simpleness. Anyway, with that comes the conclusion to this first installment of
BBRR.
I had a lot of fun learning more about these Pokemon that I've grown to love, and I hope I taught you something new. Maybe you have a new favorite Pokemon. Feel free to let me know down below in the comment section, or just let me know your top 10. If you want to see more videos like this one, then be sure to let me know by giving the video a like and subscribing to the channel. We're almost at 500 subscribers, which is crazy. Let's see if we can get to 500 by April 22nd, a month from the day I'm writing this script. If I'm gonna reach that goal, I gotta go pump out some more videos, so I'll see you guys next time. This is MissyDoPop, signing off.